Minami-ke. This is a nice anime. Another one of those slice of life ones. It's actually pretty good. I got into this one because I can't remember what I was watching beforehand, but I was sort of hungry for a slice of life anime. So I decided to watch this one because I remember seeing a clip about it and I thought it was funny. So I decided to watch it. And it turned out to be pretty good. It was another one of those 13 episode ones, which I believe I've mentioned how much I despise in a blog post. And I'll post a link if you guys want to read exactly what I said. But this one was in 3 seasons, so it made it a little bit better. First season was pretty good. I don't really remember much about it. I think it was just sort of, in way of Koihime Muzo, where it was just sort of there to introduce the characters and whatnot. In a way, I think. Not really much of developing them, but introducing them. And, that's, interesting. And that was a nice one. They always seem to end, the season with like some big activity. Another thing I noticed was that let's see, the middle school, the one with the brown hair. I always noticed that near the end of the season, she would always wear a similar style outfit. She would always wear like the sweater with the button shirt. It's like I found that kind of interesting because it was one of those animes where the characters would dress differently depending on whatever. They would either wear their uniforms or something else. I don't exactly know the story behind why they don't have their parents around. Their eldest sister, I can't remember her name. I only remember Chiaki, and sad thing is they're all, I like them all, to be honest. They're all probably my favorite characters. Favorite guy's probably Fujioka. I actually auditioned for him and didn't get the role, so. And for a fan dub. I don't even think this show's gonna get dubbed. If it gets released on DVD, though, I'll buy it. Anyway, so the first season was pretty good, pretty funny. I learned about the whole Bacho thing, whatever that was. So that was pretty funny. And I also learned of, I didn't really learn that much from the other animes. I can't remember. I remember there was one episode, though, where the middle school, the girl with the brown hair, I can't remember their name, I'm sorry. But she was trying to, impress Fujioka by getting a higher grade than them, and she always was, like, fudging up her grade because she kept getting bad grades, and she would show Fujioka, he's like, oh, look, and Fujioka got a higher grade than her. And, then I remember, like, she would show off her friend, the brown-haired girl, would show off to her friends, like, what'd you get? And, like, she would get, like, 100. And I remember there was one part where she was like, you should just go to America. And I thought, wow. That's pretty funny. Then second season came around. This is where I felt like this anime was trying to seem like a little too mainstream in a way. They were doing that whole stereotypical opening thing where, like, everyone's all, like, seductive and sexy and, like, everyone's gay, apparently. Which, is pretty funny. It was interesting, though, and they were done like a different art style, and it actually looked, a little more mainstream. Like, if you've watched a lot of anime, then you can tell when there's an anime that's, just the stereotypical shonen or shoujo style. Oh, besides an anime that's actually distinctive, like Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. Certain kind of animes, maybe even Koihime Muzo and Black Belt Brothers, those are, stereotypical ones, but like Negima and other ones that I can't think of, they have that same shoujo style to where everyone, draws like very similar, I don't know. Haven't seen too many anime like that, but I know there's a lot of Tales characters and whatnot. I don't know, it might just be Negima that uses like the stereotypical shonen style. Anywho, it used to almost a stereotypical style. Not a very unique one. It was almost a little too anime. It was interesting, though. This one had more of a plot to it. I remember the plot was like that the main girl, like the girl who was in high school, wore the blue uniform. She was getting a chance to study abroad in, like, London. And, like, her younger sisters, Chiaki and brown-haired girl was trying to were trying to like prove to their older sisters that they can take care of themselves. But then it's like, it's okay, I'm going to stay here. And then they played the opening theme song of the first season, almost as if the second season was trying to be closure to the first or whatever. I don't know. Overall it was still nice. Then the third season came around, and it was kind of going back to the old style of the first one. Don't remember much about that one. I felt like that one was just kind of there. It was still nice, I suppose, to watch, I suppose. And I remember the last episode, like, brown-haired girl went to go get some groceries, and then like she was taking a really long time, and Chiaki and older sister, who happens to be the same voice actress for Negima in the Japanese version, they were getting a little worried about it. It's like, we love you, sister, even though she's really retarded. Not really retarded, but like dumb. Or I don't, sort of like rash, I guess. I don't know. Like, even though she's like that way, she's a good girl. We miss our sister. Yeah, she comes back and everything's fine. And that was the end of that. It was just a slice of life anime, so there really wasn't too much plot to it, which I suppose, for a slice of life is probably for a good thing. It's almost like SpongeBob, to where there's no real plot to each episode. It's just, their life. In a way, you could say SpongeBob is a slice of life anime. Then I saw the movie on YouTube. And that was, I don't even remember that one, actually. I don't even remember much about this anime. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. If you like slice of life stuff, and you want to just have like a good time and watch a nice anime about, Japanese people, I guess, then, this was a good one. Recommend it in Japanese because it's only available in Japan. There's no real official release yet, so I don't think there's really any legal way to watch it yet. But yeah, give it a watch if you are into that kind of thing. This is Flamsaron signing out. Go watch it, and